Hello to everyone in the internet, and you are watching Culture Shock, the only show on the internet that knows how to separate an issue of culture from an issue of politics. I am Nathan of Washington, and it is time for the news. Alright. This one's gonna be a little depressing, folks. 85,000 children dead in Yemen. Oh, that's right, 85,000. Due to starvation, children in Yemen have been starving. And a lot of them look like they were actually smaller than they should be at their age. Like they were shorter and smaller, skinnier. Mind you, that 85,000 estimate is considered conservative, meaning it's a rounded estimate. It could be actually far greater. Yeah. Have fun trying to sleep tonight! Yeah, it's pretty awful. Yemen's probably one of the worst places in the world to live right now. I feel bad for those folks. I really do. A U.S. citizen had been smuggled to and killed on North Sentinel Island. Now, if you're not familiar, this is an island near India, where the last remaining tribe, uncontacted tribe, lives. The North Sentinelese do not allow outsiders. They kill anyone who arrives there. And the Indian government's just been like, leave those folks alone. Stay clear. Yeah, because apparently anyone who goes there dies. They're essentially living in Stone Age times, essentially. And they don't want to be disturbed, so I say leave them alone. That's obviously what they want. Moving on. An 11-year-old boy in his pajamas almost boarded a plane. Almost got through paper thin airport security on the account that children are not ID'd at airports to get on the planes. Yeah, he nearly succeeded, but they noted that he was unaccompanied and simply questioned him about that, and then other people around him noted that they had no affiliation with the boy, so he got nowhere fast. He was just playing basketball outside in his pajamas and suddenly got the idea to run away from it all. Ugh, kids these days. Just kidding, I've done shit like that myself when I was his age. Moving on. Dolce & Gabbana, a fashion company, recently ran a chopsticks commercial with one of their models that offended the Chinese, showing her trying to eat things like pizza and spaghetti noodles with chopsticks. Now, I personally found the ads kind of funny, in a dry sort of way, but the Chinese found it offensive, suggesting that it made them look like sloppy idiots, and that it depicted more of a negative side of their culture, which they didn't take a liking to. Well, yeah. I mean, people take offense to everything these days. So were these commercials really racist? No. I think they were stupid, which is part of why I find them sort of funny and cute, because they were stupid. But anyway. Here's something really messed up for you folks. Female genital mutilation cannot be banned by federal court, says judge. Yeah, that's right. A federal judge in Detroit, Michigan. His name is, where is it? I thought I put his name down. Oh, there. Bernard Friedman was down in my bullet points here. I use bullet points to keep myself from rambling, in case you people didn't know. I do tend to ramble a bit. Anyway, Bernard Friedman made this ruling, citing the ban is unconstitutional due to the fact that the Constitution has something within it called the Commerce Clause, which states that Congress can't pass certain things, and that it must be an issue of state government, not a federal government. So only individual states could ban female genital mutilation. Which, by the way, as soon as possible, I say do it. Right away. Now, for those of you who do not know, FGM, or female genital mutilation, is when they remove certain parts of the female genitals so that they have no sensation from being penetrated during sex. Basically, they don't feel it. It's to keep them subservient to their men. It is a Islamic practice, and is currently being practiced by the Dawoodi Bohra. Now, mind you, Dawoodi Bohra is a denomination of Islam that is not fundamentalist. They are not extremists. They are relatively nonviolent, but they're found around the world. There's about 1 million of them around the world. There's some here in the U.S. and in South America. These guys are, they're not dangerous, but they still practice these sickening things, and they should not be allowed to practice them here. You don't like it, go somewhere else. So we can ban it at the state level, and we should do so immediately. Moving on. One dead and 5 injured in a fiery car crash on Brooklyn Bridge. The bridge itself was closed and all lanes were made unavailable due to this. So it was just apparently a really nasty crash, and probably the engine blew up or the gas tank causing the issue. The 5 were severely injured and flown to a hospital by helicopter, and the one dead apparently died shortly after the impact. So that was pretty lovely. Moving on. NASA wants to review SpaceX after Elon Musk was seen in an interview smoking what appeared to be a reefer, which is a marijuana cigarette. Apparently there's some violation of some rule about having a drug-free work environment. But it happened in an interview and shouldn't really have any effect on the work environment or on such regulations. They're probably just assuming that because he did it there that he does it, all the time. There is an insane stigma around the use of marijuana. It's pretty ridiculous, and not to mention solidly unrealistic in most cases. This review is absolutely unnecessary, but they're gonna go ahead with it anyway. They're gonna go ahead with it anyway. So you know what? I say let them do it. They're gonna find nothing. The workspace is gonna be fine, and they're gonna have egg on their face over this. Nonsense. Just pure nonsense. Oh no, he smoked pot in an interview. Must mean the work environment at his company isn't what it should be. Yeah, real logical. I'm frightened that these guys have anything to do with science. Moving on. The FDA is warning against the purchase of romaine lettuce in several states, about 20 plus states, due to an outbreak of E. coli with 32 sick people from having eaten this lettuce. They didn't really specify how many states. They're not sure how far the romaine lettuce got. So if you're thinking about buying lettuce, maybe not. Maybe don't. Unless you think you can handle E. coli. Moving on. Scientists have developed a cancer-killing virus, or rather they're planning to develop a cancer-killing virus. There's been work made on this thing. This sucker's basically going to get inserted into your bloodstream, and it's going to hunt down cancer cells and also bypass the cells that are tricked into protecting cancer cells, root them out and destroy them. This sounds like the plot to a sci-fi movie. It really does. This is a man-made virus and should not be used. We already found a natural cure to cancer, but unfortunately due to its stigma, they're not going to use it. There's scientific articles proving, and at some point I'll present those to you, maybe on an episode of Culture Shock Aftershock, which would be more appropriate, because this is a somewhat lengthy subject, that these videos are long enough as it is. Anyway, CBD oil can kill cancer cells if they catch it early. What they should be doing is they should be developing technologies to catch cancer sooner and then use CBD oil instead of creating these viruses that could potentially go wrong. I'm not trying to fearmonger, I'm just saying that if something goes wrong, this could be killing non-cancerous cells and actually be aiding the cancer. So that's a pretty big risk. So it might, in the end, not be worth it. Instead of using artificial means to cure it, they should be using natural means to cure it. Detect the disease earlier and then use the CBD oil. But anyway, that's it for Culture Shock, folks. Tschüss.